Hey people, welcome to the channel. And I was thinking about what are the real survival tools, the tools that have saved your life in one occasion or another. This is something that I came to think about because of a video that I uploaded in my Spanish channel, as well as here about some of the more expensive survival knives that I have. I did a video showing mostly my Bussy knife collection. These are a little bit more on the expensive side, right? Like this one, Bussy Team Gemini Light Brigade. Now, it's a great knife. You could argue, oh, it's heavy, it's expensive, it's this and that. Sure, but it's a very solid knife nonetheless. You know, not a bad choice at all. You could argue that, no, the one that actual Special Forces guys use is that other one. The Boss Jack was ordered by Special Forces guys. So Special Forces, yay. All right, yeah, that's still perfectly valid. Do you even need a survival knife? Now, I believe you do. I know for a fact that I have, stone tools that are thousands of years old that, no question, made humanity possible. These are the things that we build our society on, right? These are the essential tools. Smashing with a rock, breaking a rock, using the sharp edge of a rock, and from there, and there's people that will do amazing work with a simple knife. Not even an expensive, just any cheap Mora knife, $10 Mora, people can do amazing things with those. In terms of bushcrafting, wilderness survival, using them to modify nature to your will, and yes, all of that, big yes. I've actually designed my own survival knife. You probably know this because I talk about it all the time. This is my survival knife made by Aitor, and I thought about all of these things as well. It is one of these impossible tasks, which is the everything knife. The knife for chopping, the knife for push cutting from in this direction, using that part, or using it like this, or just slashing with that curve that makes it even better, or just chopping away with a knife that is not too long but has enough mass so as to make the most out of that. All of these things, right? Which these are all legit. I actually did think about all of these things, and I know these things actually work. I have not invented anything. These are all things that have been done before. I just tried to do my version of it as best as I could, giving the things that I wanted to, more likely the things I wanted to not have, I think are kind of like gimmicky, markety things. So yeah, that's all great. How many times has this thing saved my life? 0. How many times has any survival knife that I own saved my life? Man, the closest I could get to that would be, prying rocks from a truck when we had an accident in the road in the Andes in a construction site. Dude, really, you could have used other things as well. But honestly, that's the kind of thing that a survival knife could end up making a big difference. If I honestly have to say, what are the real survival tools? How many times have you been in situations where if it hadn't been for one of these, maybe not exactly this one, a Glock in my case, how many times has it been that this saved your life? I can actually think of a couple, right? Honestly, situations in which if you didn't have that with you and knew how to use it, you probably would not even be here. Fortunately, I'll never know. I'll never know because the choice was, it was not me getting shot. It is, no, dude, you're gonna get shot. If you don't stop right now, you're gonna get fucked up right now. Right this second, decide if you want to live or die. And you have the power to impose that on another human being because you have the knowledge and you have the tool. If you don't have the tool, you're not going to impose that on someone else. How many times has a blade saved my life? Honestly, I can think of at least, let's go with a couple times. One time in which mugging attempt sort of situation, fortunately, didn't get past that. Another one in which I could have been hurt if I hadn't had a knife to stop someone from doing things that I didn't want happening to me. Couple times, right? So yeah, and maybe not this exact same knife, the Vaquero or El Hombre, I don't remember. I think it was El Hombre, the smaller, Vaquero shaped cold steel. But yeah, this is something that is very much a survival tool. It's a survival knife, by the way, right? So, survival knife, right? Yes, it is a tool. Now, this is something you're not going to have. Ooh, if I had my survival knife, well, shit, it would have been even more imposing, right? Check out that sucker. Sure, yes, but this is what I had with me. And this is what, well, again, not this one, a folder, okay? These are the things. And what is it that we say about EDC all the time? It's the tools that you have with you that will make a difference, right? It's the knowledge. It's the things we talk about here all the time. By the way, if you are not here all the time and you haven't subscribed, subscribe right now. You have the button right there. Or honestly, stay until the end of the video. If you think this was worth it, subscribe then. These are the things that I can tell you, dude, these things have actually saved my life in more than one occasion. That's basically how it goes. The flashlights, I can tell you, again, not exactly the same one, but I can tell you that many cases in which it was dark on the, on it right now, thinking about it, on the side of the road, walking at night because of a car breaking down, having a flashlight. I did use that with my family to use the strobe. I think it was a strobe that I had with me, one of the flashlights that has a strobe mode, using that to signal everyone around you, hey, don't hit me with your car. It is an extremely common accident that people get hit on the side of the road because they're walking out of a car crash and they have no other option, okay? We had no other option. Something happened with a vehicle. It was in a very unfortunate place, a highway, and the only way of getting out of there was using that. In fact, now that I'm thinking of this and recollecting the memory of this, I think we ended up actually crossing that highway, signaling first with a light, right? And because of that, people slow down. We avoid, and we try to make our way very quickly so as to not cause an accident on someone else. We signal ourselves, we cross on the other side and continue walking on the other side. That flashlight may have saved our lives. This is the kind of thing that, this is so essential and so important. And then, cave exploration with the kids in a day hike. Yeah, if you don't have a flashlight or if it dies on you, you can get lost in those things. And damn, it is a cave. There is no light, nothing. So we didn't go deep. It was just a little bit, not risking anything with the kids, especially if they were younger and whatnot. So, but yes, half of the day it's dark. So half of the day, this is either you see or you don't. So even though I cannot think of specifically a very clear case of, someone would have gotten hurt. Well, maybe the highway thing would have been a case, but it's so much the case that this is so important that I will include it here. Allow me to do that. Multi-tool. How many times have I used this for, and this one for, well, I've used this one for car repairs. It wasn't all that, it wasn't as dangerous as when the car broke down and I needed a flashlight, but I did use it to repair the car. It could easily be the case that if you have, a car, malfunction in a little bit more of an isolated place, it may make a big difference. But this is so useful, so handy. Again, it's like the caveman with his stone knife. It allows you to modify the world around you to your convenience, and that's what allows you to survive. We're not doing that. You're not living in a damn cave. You're not living in a cabin in the woods that you build with your survival knife. We live a different life right now. And even though there's people that, someone in the comments said, but we are from the country. Dude, you're a farmer in the United States. You have no fucking idea what the country is. You live in the modern world, in the first world. You've never been isolated. You've never been stranded for days at a time. You've never been in a place where people are days away, even in a car from where you are. That's not it. That's not how the location in which you are is. There's very few places in the world where people honestly live like isolated from everyone. You have a fucking cell phone at least, and internet connection. What are you talking about? Right? The people that can say that, city folks have no idea what surviving is because without my knife, I'm dead within 24 hours. Stop it. Stop it already. Stop this bullshit about the country people and the city people. It's a little bit cringy. But this is something that allows you to I've used this knife to cut the hose from the radiator. The radiator was all busted and was corroded. I use the metal file, to level the place where the hose would go in and allow it to connect and have the car work again, basically, fixing the radiator, fixing the car, getting out of there. So, and again, it's so much the case that you can use it in so many cases, in so many situations, and besides, it has the freaking blade. You still talk about the essential tool of humanity, you still have the knife. Not only do you have the knife, you have two of these here, all right? So this is the survival tool, not this. Honestly, for most people, this is the survival tool you should buy. This is the survival tool you should have, all right? And then, of course, what everyone else has that we don't fully appreciate. The ability of contacting, asking for help, calling 911, calling an ambulance, calling whatever the heck it is, seeing where loved ones are, seeing where family member is, buying plane tickets or train tickets or whatever tickets to get the hell out of there if there's an ongoing situation. These are things that have happened to thousands of people, probably hundreds of thousands of people, that having instant access to news, to knowing what's happening. These things make out, having, you know what, guys, having the alert system in many countries, you get a warning from storms, floods. The warning in this thing may end up saving your life. So this is an essential survival tool as well. And the way I see it, money as well. You could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 or 6 essential real survival tools. These are it. Cash for emergencies. How many times has cash saved your life? I don't know, man. It's really hard to tell. I cannot really think of, ooh, it saved my life. But I have the wallet here. So it's not just the cash, it's the documents. I have, my private healthcare cover, my public healthcare cover. These are things that you will have in civilized countries where these things actually work. How many times has proper healthcare saved your life? Oh, hell yeah. More times than you could possibly think of. And you cannot just focus on yourself, right, like I'm doing with these two, right, because everyone's experience is different. But I know for a fact that having proper health care will save your life more than anything else. It is essential. It is non-debatable how important health care is. We're human beings. We need this shit. You will not survive very long without proper health care. Oh, I just take great care of myself. Fantastic, bro. Great. You'll live a long, happy life. But shit happens. You may get sick. You may get hurt. I mean, this is for another video, but healthcare, especially in the United States, oh my God. We could talk about that all day long, how essential it is for your survival. It is key. So those documents, all of that here, right? So this is more of a representation of a bunch of things besides cash that are essential survival tools or survival services that you may or may not have. Hell, life insurance. If you freaking die and fail at survival entirely, who's left behind? What resources do you have? These are all the real things. These are all the real shit that I like to talk about, and not focusing on, oh, what steel do I use? How do I build another shelter in the woods? How many of those have you ever made to survive anything? It is fun. These things that I just explained, these are real survival tools. And at least in my case, I can tell you of a couple of them that have been essential to probably even being here at all right? Again, just my experience. Yours may be completely different. You may be fortunate enough that you're carrying one of these all day long and you never had to draw this one on another human being in real life. I mean, kudos, congratulations, great. You managed to live in a safer place and avoid problems or whatnot. But that's the way I see it. Folks, again, if you enjoy the content of this video and you want to subscribe, by all means do so. As I always say in my videos, if you want to learn even more about all of this stuff, you have my books, Surviving the Economic Collapse, Street Survival Skills, practical stuff like what I'm just talking about here right now. And for your kids, talking about, a children's book that is pro-life, pro-humanity, pro all the things I think are missing in the world these days. My children's book, yes, yeah, Lucas Dreams. I hope you get it and read it with your children, and let me know how that went. All right, guys, see you next time. Take care. Have a great day.